Beaudin from Rock History Music. Some big news. Peter Gabriel's last official album with all new songs was up from 2002. It's been a few years since then. Anyway, here's the deal. Manu Katché, who is the drummer who replaced Jerry Marotta for Peter Gabriel way back in the 80s, did an interview with a French newspaper where he basically said that there was a new tour for Peter Gabriel in 2023 starting in May in Europe, and it'll support a brand new album. Tony Banks recently said that he knew that Peter Gabriel was working on a brand new album. This album's been in the works for I don't know how long. It's insane. I talked to Tony 11 years ago, and I said, "What's happening with the Peter Gabriel album?" And he said, "Still in the works. We've got something coming up." Hey, Melody. Hey, thanks for your emails this week. Pictures of your son. So this is good news. It looks like it's going to happen. A few different sources have said it. It's been leaking that, this album's been, it's 2022, man. That's like 20 years. So Gabriel is in a position as an artist that he doesn't really have to release any new music. But this has been in the can for Soulful Music 100. Hello. Hi, Doug. How you doing? So there you go. Manu Katché says, and some people are already saying on the chat lines, I don't believe it. This has been promised for years. It's like you have a better chance of seeing the Loch Ness Monster or Bigfoot than a new Peter Gabriel album. This is going to happen. And just recently, Tony Banks had said the glory days of Genesis were not the Peter Gabriel days. I mumbled that out. But there was always been a friction between Tony Banks of Genesis and Peter Gabriel. It seems like they were like at this. Hello, John and everyone. Hi, Jason. We're going to come on in less than an hour, Shannon and I, to do Friday Night Live and talk about some things that have been happening in rock and roll. Most notably, the Jimmy Page saying that they wanted to do a hologram show like ABBA, but they couldn't agree on anything. So the Peter Gabriel album, the follow-up to Up, which came out in 2002, looks like it's going to happen. Drummer Manu Katché has said that the new tour in Europe starts in 2023. It will support the brand new album, which these days you release the album first and you go on the road after, right? It's not always the case, but it looks like it's going to happen. This is big news because Peter Gabriel is one of those artists, right? There's a mystique to Peter Gabriel. There even was when he was with Genesis. So there you go. God, I need to shave. Anyway, I just did a yard work and somebody just sent me this and I said, yeah, I've seen it. I'm going to do a thing on it on its own. Peter Gabriel, at last. Speaking of Peter, small segue. How about that Kate Bush thing, eh? And Stranger Things and Running Up the Hill. What a phenomenon. All of a sudden, people who otherwise would never hear Kate Bush are hearing her. And of course, she worked with Peter Gabriel. Outstanding news. Thanks, Alan. I'll just quickly make sure my sound's down. And by the way, we are coming on, Shannon and I, in less than an hour. I'm in the wrong channel. Hold on. Let me just see if I can get your questions. There we go. Got it. That's a weird picture of Peter Gabriel. So to go back, Melody, hi. Soulful Music, good evening. Doug says hello. Jason Schultz says hello, John and everyone. Alan Perkins, outstanding news. Doug says, loved your interview with Liberty DeVito. Thank you. We're going to split that up into little pieces and put out some more individual pieces from that. Jason says, The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway was a life-changing album. It really was for me, too. It was the last one with Peter Gabriel with Genesis. Greetings all from GPK 99. David Searle says, amazing. If Manu Katché is on the new Peter Gabriel album, he is. He's going to be on the album. He's touring with Peter. Might be actually worth waiting. That's a long wait for albums. As albums go, and again, sometimes people say, why'd you do that? Well, I don't know, because I wanted to do it. Why'd you do that? Well, because I could. Why didn't he do it? Because he didn't have to. He's just one of those artists that when I talked to Jerry Marotta and even talked to Tony Levin, Manu Katché replaced Jerry Marotta, it was just a question of like they'd be working over and over on a piece, and all of a sudden he'd just scrap it. He said, no, I'm not. The next day he'd come, I'm not. Peter Gabriel would say, yeah, no, I'm not feeling it anymore. It was a moment in time when they were recording that piece for whatever song that would have been, and they'd come back to it, and he's gotten there's more idiosyncratic things with Peter Gabriel as he gets older. And guess what? He's allowed. He can do whatever he wants. The good news is I will be first in line because I love Peter Gabriel's solo album. The first two, not as much. Then I listened to all the other stuff when it was released. Then I'd go back to the first two and I went, well, he was just branching out when he was doing those albums. So just make sure I got all your comments. So that's it. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. Shani and I will be back at the top of the hour for Friday Night Live. If you want to ask us any questions, we can just lay back. We're going to be upstairs just hanging out. She's making herself look pretty right now. Where's my little stick? Where's my little stick? Anyway, guys, thank you for tuning in and always appreciate 23 rumored finished cuts. Well, Tony Banks had said it's basically in the can as well, his old cohort in Genesis. So it's going to happen. Have a great weekend. Hey, Jason, we're going to be back at the top of the hour for Friday Night Live. Take good care of yourself and love you guys.